we're in the Fusion tab. Let's focus in on the background here. We're gonna create this. We'll start off by creating these holes here and this pattern. I'm gonna recreate it alongside what I've got right now. We'll start off with this background here. You could just click and drag a background node down from the toolbar. I'm gonna preview this stuff that we've created already on the left by pressing 1. I'm gonna preview the new stuff on the right by pressing 2. First thing we'll do is add some holes and make this Swiss cheese. Okay, I've got this ellipse selected. I'm gonna move it over here and zoom out a bit. Click on this edge and drag it in, and this will give a bit of an oval shape. And we need some copies here, so selecting our ellipse, Control C, Control V, and we got number 2. I'm just roughly placing it now, and I'm gonna do that a few more times. Control C, Control V, just move this, Control C, Control V, and one more, Control C, Control V. We'll move that over. Obviously, this needs some work here. At least we know what goes where. Now for precision, we'll select this one. We'll look at the numbers. Okay, this is close to 0. So let's type in 0. This is close to 1. Let's type in 1. For our next one, we see the same thing. This is 1. This is 1. Next one. This is 1. This is 0. So you can see getting it close really makes our life easier. This is 0, 0. And if we ever want to adjust the sizes of these, we want to make it easy to adjust them all at the same time. So let's select our first ellipse and press F2, and we'll call this ellipse underscore main. And with this one selected, we could come up here and hit this pin. Now it's always going to stay there. So we'll select this one down here. For our width, we'll type in equals, press enter. And then we can click and drag this plus sign to our pinned width down here from our ellipse main. And we'll do the same thing for height, equals, press enter or return, click and drag here. And you just do the same thing for the rest of this. So select the next one and repeat that process. Now you've been transported in the future where this ellipse has been connected to all these other ones. So when we change its width or its height, we have control of all at the same time. And don't forget to unpin because we don't want to see this every time. So we unpin that, and we really don't need to see all of these. So select them all, press Control G or right click and go to group. Group is nice and clean. Double click on it if you want to see all the stuff inside, and hit this X if you want to collapse it back down. And it's not a bad idea to select your group and press 2 and name it. Now let's select our background here and change the color to white. Click this drop down. In my version over here, we've got a reverse effect where instead of seeing the holes, we see the backing pattern. So Shift Spacebar INV and press enter. Let's click this and press 2. So I had background selected. So invert color is in the wrong spot. I'm gonna hold down Shift and drag that, breaks the connection, and still holding down Shift, drop it over the line here, and it puts it in the right spot. And it's not so much that we're inverting the color as we are inverting the alpha. So let's click that. And this is the look that we want. Now it doesn't quite look like a jersey. So let's click on this. Let's find our ellipse main, and we could change that just a bit and click the X to close it. So we've only got one section and we need to scale this down. All right, so I'm gonna have background selected, Shift Spacebar, TRANSF, transform, hit enter, and we wanna adjust the size, but we don't wanna do it at the exact same rate necessarily. Let's select this, make sure we press 2 so we preview it, go to edges, click on wrap. You can scale it down, but we can also uncheck this, use size and aspect. Now we got an X size and we got a Y size. So we're gonna have more control. So I'm gonna scale them to a similar size. And once it gets really small, you might need to type in the numbers or try and hold down Control as you drag for fine-tuned increments. All right, let's try 1.5 and just see what works for you. We got our control there, and obviously we can double click on our group again and adjust the size of this. Zoom in here to see the shape a little bit better. Click on this edge and drag it. If you want something interesting, we could click on this green dotted circle if we want to rotate for whatever reason, or if we want to shift this around to one side or another for a different kind of pattern. All right, let's collapse this group. We have recreated this pattern, so everything is good here. I can select all the nodes, press Shift Space Bar, UND, underlay. It's usually small here, this underlay, so we can move this. Select the things inside. We can also drag from the bottom. Sometimes that's a little bit easier. Let's name this. Now the trick here is to deselect it, then hold down Alt and click on the name underlay here. And that just selects the background underlay without any of the nodes, and then press F2. And we could color it if we want, but it's good for now. Just make sure, click off it, click back on. And now we've got everything selected and we can move this where we want it. In the next video, we'll get to the three-dimensional part where we take our pattern and we add this shape to it. So basically the pattern in 3D space, and then we add a displace here. So you could see the displace gives a little bit of a ripple there, and then the second displace, that gives a much bigger ripple. And that's great because with the two of them, you get detail and you get movement at different speeds, and it makes it look really nice. And then you can see here, this merge is just where we're adding a light. So this is how it looks through the camera. And then this little drop shadow gets some depth. So that's going to be a fun one.